Yo, what is up, high school AlieNation? Guys, it has been a weird week, but I am so happy that we have the technology to be able to communicate a message to y'all. In the last 2 weeks, we went to the OC Breakaway Conference, which was an incredible experience. So many of you came back from that having had an experience with Jesus. 5 baptisms, so many more recommitments to Christ. That was an incredible time. I'm still so excited about what God was doing on that trip and continues to do coming off that trip. Last week was a super cool AlieNation. It seems like that might be our last AlieNation that we were meeting at the church for quite some time. So it looks like we might be doing some sort of a video message series for the unforeseeable future. But that's okay, guys. We're gonna persevere. That's who we are. So I'm excited. If you guys are excited, can we stand? Is that okay? Can we do that? Can we just stand? Let me adjust my camera here. Let's see if this will work. Here, I'm just gonna point it this way. All right, can everyone just stand and we do some stretches? Can we do that? All right, let's go left arm to the right. Stretch it out. Yep, all right, let's go right arm to the left. Can we limber up a little bit? All right. Yep, there we go. All right, I think we're ready now. I think we're ready. So here we are, our first AlieNation via Instagram, Facebook. This is weird, but it's kind of cool. I like it. I know some of y'all are just like, man, now at least I don't have to sit through his message. I can choose to kind of end it when I want. I don't have to walk out of the sanctuary and go to the bathroom to kind of escape. So that's cool for some of you guys. I'm sure some of you are so excited that you don't have to spend the next 8 weeks in school, maybe the rest of the semester in school. You're like, finally, I have a chance to beat this video game. Finally, I have a chance to rack up this amount of hours on Netflix, binge watching. Some of you are probably super excited about that. Other of you, some of you guys are probably like, man, this is my senior year. I did not expect this, and now I'm really frustrated, and I'm trying to figure out and wrestle with this. God, why did you allow this to happen? Why does it have to be my senior year? And I totally understand that. This is a weird and trying time. There's a lot of confusion going on right now, but guys, I promise you, God is in this. He did not create this virus by any means, but he will work through this virus. And guys, this is a perfect opportunity to seek him. So we're going to get into the word. In John 13, it's the Last Supper. It's the last meal that Jesus is going to eat with his disciples. And it's just kind of a weird experience. So following the meal, Jesus washes his disciples' feet. And you guys are probably thinking, that's really weird. I would never wash someone's feet. Or the only time I've ever washed someone's feet was on a mission trip, and that was really weird. I get it. But in this culture, the culture in which Jesus was living, washing someone's feet was the most humbling thing that you could do. It was a crazy thing for the teacher who Jesus was. Jesus was the rabbi, the teacher of this group of disciples. For him to do that, it was such a humbling thing. But what he was doing is he was teaching his disciples that they must always be the one to serve. And that's really the example that Jesus has left us. So going through John 13, Jesus washes his disciples' feet, and then following that, he starts talking. The tone changes in which he's speaking. And he speaks and he shares about how one of the disciples is going to betray him. And then he goes on and he says, another one of you is going to deny me. So there's just this somber tone in the room. There's this room that they're in. And you can just tell as you read it that the disciples are just kind of like, what is going on? What are we going to do? Jesus is about to die. Someone's going to betray him. Someone's going to deny him. This is really a crazy time right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. What are we going to do? How are we going to carry on this legacy that Jesus has built? How are we going to do it? So with all this uncertainty in the room, this is how Jesus responds. In verse 1 in chapter 14, Jesus says, "Don't let your heart be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me." Don't let your heart be troubled. I know some of you are sitting at home, you're trying to play the cool guy. Yeah, this virus isn't a big deal, but when you go to bed at night, you're worried. Fear has a grasp on you. It has a hold on you. And you're wondering, what is this going to look like? How does this end? Are we able to get past this virus? What is this going to look like in 2 months? What is this going to look like 2 weeks from now? There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear swirling around. There's this verse in 2 Timothy where Paul wrote this book, and Paul had a crazy life. He probably had the most troubling life that any person could ever live. The amount of just wild things that he experienced in his life, it probably can't be surpassed. This man was shipwrecked. This man was stoned. This man was beat up multiple times. This man was imprisoned countless times. This man was bit by a viper on the hand, poisonous snake that should have killed him, and yet he still survived and continued to preach the word of Jesus. So this is what Paul says about fear. He says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but one of love, of power, of love, and sound judgment." Power, love, and sound judgment. He's not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound judgment. Now I want to just touch on the sound judgment just for a minute. Because what we have right now, guys, is we have an opportunity. We have more free time right now than we've probably ever had in our lives. Think about that for a second. This isn't like the summer. This isn't like summer vacation. You can't go to the pool. You can't go to the lake. You can't go to the beach right now. You're basically restricted to your house. Maybe you can go around your neighborhood a little bit. Maybe you can drive around a little bit. But for the most part, we're basically stuck at home. So with all this free time, there's really two things that we can do. We can make this time about ourselves, or we can make this time about God. Now, when I say make this time about God, I don't mean just, become a monk and lock yourself in your closet and just pray for 24 hours. That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in this time, we can be intentional about the decisions that we make. Yeah, I think getting into the Word is an amazing decision to make right now. I think that could just be life-changing for you. I think spending time in prayer in this time, this troubling time, with so much fear swirling around, with so much uncertainty, that's a really good idea. Just bring your fears, bring your anxiety to Jesus right now and just say, "God, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. I have some uncertainty. I have some doubts. I have concerns, and I just want to just lay it at your feet." And God will hear those prayers. He will accept those prayers, and He will answer those prayers. There's a verse in Proverbs 3, verse 5, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding." When we rely on ourselves, we oftentimes let ourselves down. We're so flawed as people. But God is so perfect. He's so good. He's so loving. And when we put our trust in Jesus, He'll never let us down. So guys, just to walk away with something practical. Something practical. What can I do this week? How can I make this week about God? There's some simple decisions, guys. Simple decisions that you can make every day. Most of you are stuck at home. Your parents, I don't know if your parents are working right now. I don't know if your parents are all home, if your whole family is there. But there's simple things, guys. Chores around the house, that would be such a huge blessing to your parents, to be able to just do things that maybe you didn't have the time to do before, but you're home now. And just helping out and just serving your family in that way would just be such a major blessing. And honestly, serving, thinking outside of ourselves, is one step towards a better relationship with Jesus. It's just so much more fulfilling when we give rather than when we receive. So just think about, what are some steps that I can take this week in my free time that I didn't have before to get and grow in my relationship with Jesus? Now, I'm not saying we can't watch Netflix. I'm not saying we can't play video games. I'm not saying any of that, guys. What I'm saying is, let's just be intentional about our time. Let's not waste this unique opportunity that we have right now. Let's not waste it. Guys, I love you. I'm excited. Let me just pray for this week for you guys. God, I'm just so thankful for all of the students, all the leaders of high school AlieNation. God, I know that this is just a really trying time, but God, we trust that you are in this. God, we trust that you are walking in our midst. God, that you are in control over this virus. God, and that you're just watching over us, God. God, we pray against that spirit of fear that can just take over sometimes. And we just pray that, God, that you would fill us with your love, fill us with your peace right now, God. Give us that spirit of love, that spirit of power, and that spirit of sound judgment, God, so that we can make decisions every day for you. God, we love you and pray all this in your name, Jesus. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this message. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was encouraging to you. Please just follow our Instagram and Facebook pages for updates throughout the week. We're also going to have some interactive things going on Instagram, so just be following and looking for that. I hope to see you all next week at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Guys, have a great week. Reach out to your small group leaders. I hope all of you continue to meet virtually. Have an awesome week, guys. Peace out.